It is time for the Wednesday edition of Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith in studio. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for joining us. Off to our left in his young camera today. There he is. Look at that. He's leaned forward just to let Mom and Grandma know that he's here.
I offered to buy him ice cream yesterday, and he didn't want it. Well, I thought, what kid doesn't want ice cream?
He's been told not to take gifts from strangers. So
no, that's no candy. He didn't say anything about ice cream.
Coming up momentarily, we'll take a look at what's making news for us. We do have some things that are of importance we want to get to. Should we do that before we do the weather?
Nah, let's just
okay.
Do it like we do it.
All right.
Sunny skies through Thursday, which is today and tomorrow. But rain could come back into the picture for Friday, or at least chances of rain, Friday through the weekend. Looking for 81 for a high today, and then maybe 86 tomorrow is what they're telling us. So
could handle that.
It was beautiful out yesterday. Nice little breeze to keep things. Of course, that's how you get sunburn, because you feel like I'm fine. And then that sun beating down. I had to put my ball cap on during the Adena groundbreaking yesterday because we were not completely under the tent. So
gotcha.
Aaron's got a head of hair. You don't have to worry about that. But I have no hair on the crown of my head.
Yes. All right, coming up in a moment, so look at what's making news for us today. So we've got some important things to share with you here shortly, so do stick close for that. But first, we want to tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you have a need for a dumpster, they can help you out. 740-253-8389 is the number to call. When you click on this ad, when you see it at littermedia.com, it takes you to their Facebook page for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Welcome back, and as we start today's program, we want to remind you you can always go to littermedia.com to get the latest information on some of the stories we've had for you this week, but you can also follow us on our social media, which is Facebook, along with Litter Media X. We've got Spotify for you, and you can also check us out on our YouTube channel and Litter Media Radio.
Yes, top of the news this morning just came into us a few minutes ago. We called the Vinton County Sheriff's Office and confirmed this, that they have issued a mandatory evacuation order for the village of Zaleski due to a chemical leak this morning at the Austin Powder Company in northern Vinton County. The plant has already been evacuated, and the Sheriff's Office is also directing all residents who live on State Route 677, also known as Powder Plant Road, between US 50 and State Route 278 to evacuate immediately. Actually, that order went out. It started out as a shelter in place. It changed, according to the Sheriff's Office just a few minutes ago, and that evacuation order for Zaleski is still in place.
I'm understanding there's some kind of an orange haze that's over top of the Austin Powder Company. So, again, if you're in that area, make sure that you are following the instructions again, because it's important stuff.
Absolutely. Precautionary boil advisory for the Ross County Water Company. This has been issued for the area of Austin Road near Frankfort. For more information, contact, or you can actually visit the Ross County Water Company's outage map and boil advisory instructions on their website at rossco, that's rosscowater.com. ODOT.org.
What happened yesterday is something that I think, was the first assignment you went out on when you joined Litter Media, and talking about the hospital going in over there in Fayette County. It's something promised to the Fayette County community by Adena Health back in 2021. It's seeing the beginning of what will be construction of a new $70 million, 65,000 square foot health care center to replace the current medical center in Washington Courthouse, which goes back 75 years. The new Adena Fayette Medical Center will be a 25-bed critical access hospital, which will strengthen local access to care as well as support economic growth, which is slated for a 2027 opening.
Tony, just your first thoughts about what this facility is going to mean for your county.
Oh, growth, opportunity, better health access. There's nothing like a hometown hospital for the folks that live here. When you walk in with your sick child, or you walked in, after an accident, you want to know the people that you're going to see. You want to know that you're going to get good care. I can't say enough about Adena, the finance group that has put this package together. These things aren't cheap, and it's going to be a great addition to the community.
Was there any point in the last 4 years that you had doubts?
Well, when COVID's raging the way it is, when you have a change in administrations in Washington, D.C., when you have change in administrations in Columbus, there's always reason to wonder. I don't know that it's worry, but you want to get in there and try to make sure that the policy is headed where it's beneficial for us.
You can hear more with Tony Anderson, along with many other officials who were participants yesterday in the groundbreaking, and see video as well here on our YouTube channel. But if you go to our story on littermedia.com, you'll find all of that information right there in front of you. Ohio Department of Transportation, also the District Number 9 Environmental Office, is seeking public input for a drainage improvement project over on State Route 41 in Ross County. It's proposed to address flooding issues on State Route 41 between Free Lane and Cliff Run Road in Ross County. Seems like whenever we have a heavy rain, that area gets a lot of water there. The project is located in the rural area of Paint Township. The project will require approximately 0.419 acres of permanent right-of-way. The permanent right-of-way is located in residential lawns and a wooded lot. The project will take about 0.087 acres of temporary right-of-way. That is located in the residential lawns there, too. No homes or businesses will be removed by this project.
So if you want to comment on that, you need to send those comments to District 9, which is right down the road from us here in Chillicothe, by July the 10th.
Don't send them to us. Mike won't take them down.
Well,
so
I can't do anything to help you there, other than tell you that you need to comment. Right. Each month, we tell you once a month about the food giveaway down at St. Peter's Church, thanks to the Knights of Columbus. But this coming Saturday, it is a food drive to try to restock their shelves to help the needy. This will be going on this Saturday from 10 to 3. Members of the Knights of Columbus Council and friends will be accepting donations from the community to help restock the shelves of the food pantry. And this will actually be in the parking lot across the street from St. Peter's Church on Water Street. During the food drive, there will also be a bake sale table set up from 10 until noon, with the proceeds being split between the Knights of Columbus, monthly food distributions, and the True Vine Outreach Sack Lunch Ministry. So thanks to those who help, and now here's your chance to help them help others. Road Report takes us to Scioto County maintenance project on State Route 823. That's the new bypass. In between US 23 and US 52, at least one lane will be maintained in both directions. This project should be done within the next 9 days. June 20th is the target date for completion.
All right, just ahead, we'll take a look at sports for you, and we'll also have a special guest coming up later today at 12 noon. We'll be talking with Jack Schmidt from Kenworth about the Kenworth Truck Parade making its way through the streets of downtown Chillicothe this weekend. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for nearly 50 years. They've been taking care of the conditions in our homes and in our businesses across southern Ohio. Well, that has expanded now to just south of Columbus, all the way down to the Ohio River, over to Dayton, and on towards Athens. If you want to find out more, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It will take you to accuratehvac.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. The spring sales event continues at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. You want a new lawn tractor? They start at $1699.99. A new zero-turn mower? They start at $3399.99. You need a new chainsaw? They start at $279.99.
Wow.
What about walk-behind? Those start at $399.99. Also, new blowers starting at $199.99 and starting at $229.99. New trimmers. Find out more details when you stop in at Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
I just looked up what is the last day of spring, and you know what the AI overview showed me?
The official, unofficial start of the summer?
They say in the meteorological calendar, spring runs from March 1st to May 31st. But we know that spring does not end on May 31st.
Precise.
It goes through like June 21st or 22nd. So don't believe everything that AI tells you.
I would say at least 90% of it's probably right. But it's like those little things that you see, and it's like, well, this isn't what I've always known.
No.
Or are they trying to tell us that what you've known is not what is true?
Well, you hear these teachers talking about kids turning in reports now.
Yeah.
And they didn't write, and the teacher says, I know that student didn't write that report. Watch for that, parents.
Because when I checked with it with ChatGPT, it kind of threw everything.
Yeah.
We understand.
Sports.
All right. Sports for you. The Paints had a tough time with the Kings last night in Champion City. They are back home tonight. By the way, 11-4 was the final there. Back home tonight against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. Winning Wednesday. Some lucky fans going to win gas cards. It's also Scout Night, so all Scouts get into the game for free tonight. Gates open up at 6:05. First pitch is 7:05. Reds won their fifth straight, a 1-0 win over the Guardians behind the complete game 3-hitter by that guy right there. Did you see him get splashed by that water?
I did.
It was pretty awesome. I told my wife after the game, I said, he's getting a bath. They're gonna wash him, and he did get baptized last night.
First time he's ever pitched a complete game in the majors.
And in his professional career. I don't even know if he did one when he was a little leaguer. Wouldn't that be cool? They wrap up the series in Cleveland this afternoon, and Nick Lodolo gets the start for the Reds, and for the Guardians, it'll be Logan Allen is your starter there. Again, 1:10 will be the start of that game. And if you haven't seen them already in town, they're here. Speaking of the cars for the Southern Ohio Forest Rally, today is test day for the drivers. Action for the public begins tomorrow over in Yaktangi Park. You will have the opportunity to see the cars, get up right in person with them, meet the drivers and the co-drivers as well. And we chatted with Jeremiah Johnson last month in studio about this year's event. You'll find that interview on our YouTube channel.
And that video was from last year, right?
I think this might have been 2 years ago. Was it last year? Okay. I haven't gotten together with Dan Jr. to decide what our plans might be. He wants to go to this event, so I'm sure he will be there for sure, but I don't know if I'll be able to this year. Tell you this physical limitation thing that I've got.
It's called old age, Dan.
Yeah, it sucks.
We're both getting to that point where we got to start looking ourselves in the mirror and saying,
right.
Yes, mirror, you are telling it like it is.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of these cars are out on the roadways. They have to be street legal so that they can get to where they need to go in the forests. Now, with today's information coming out about Austin Powder, that is near Zaleski State Forest, which is where Saturday's stage will be run. And so our thoughts are certainly with them as they make their plans for what this weekend is going to be like.
Now, would you say that most of these cars come here in a transport?
Not all of them. There are some that do, but others will drive here in that vehicle to get there. So
my thought is that whatever town they're going through, they stop at a stoplight. Yeah. And you get that hot rod next to you revving his engine up. Okay, baby, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Now, you're not doing that on Bridge Street right now. I can tell you that right now.
If you've never been to see one of the park exposés, and that's what you'll see over at Chillicothe High School tomorrow night. That'll be in the parking lot area. And then they'll run a stage through Yaktangi Park, which is always fun. And they have the jump area.
What do they call it? The Yump?
I can't remember if it's got a name.
Yaktangi Hump. Yump, I think that's what they used to call it.
Yeah. Well, there was, when the Sunriser was here back in the 1980s, that Yump was from Enderlin Circle over to Diamond One, where it came across, I can't remember the name of the road. It's Paint Street, just continues down into. It's got its own name. I can't think of what it is right now. But the new jump area is where the entry to the annex is, behind the Chillicothe High School parking lot. And they hit that thing and they get big air. It's a lot of fun to watch that. That's where the big crowd will be tomorrow to see that. But then they'll make their way into Shawnee State Forest for racing on Friday. And then they'll head to Zaleski State Forest again. I assume everything will be okay by Saturday.
We hope so.
We don't know that for certain. And I texted Jeremiah and I said, if you've not heard, and he's in the woods right now, so he may not be able to get that message, but somebody will get it to him, I'm sure. So,
Shawnee, wasn't it, or Scioto Trails? That's where we got sprayed.
Yes,
by mud. That time we went out there.
It rained, and you know what? This will go on rain or shine.
Yeah,
and that's the cool thing. And you talk about them. Do they come in transporters or do they try? So some of those haulers, they've got one race team that came here from Poland one year, and it looked like a NASCAR hauler coming in. But then you've got others who, this is what we're driving to get home. So you want to perform well on the course, but you want to be able to drive back home too. So you got to be careful with how you do that. But be a lot of rumble and roar going through the forests this weekend. All right, coming up in just a moment, this date in history.
But first, online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time for this date in history, and we go back to 1949.
This is one that Aaron Glandon, it's close to his heart.
Close to his feet also.
Yeah. 1949, country singer Hank Williams Sr. makes his debut in the Grand Ole Opry radio broadcast. The performance remains one of the most famous in the history of the legendary live country music performance program. The crowd at Ryman Auditorium asked for 6 encores and had to be implored not to call him out for any more so the rest of the show could go on. Hank Williams. Hank takes the stage for the first time at the Grand Ole Opry radio show.
It's the Opry.
Well, back in 1949, apparently they called it opera.
Yeah.
Did you see Ken Burns' series on that?
I did not.
The thing about hillbillies did not go over well in Nashville to start with. Mm-hmm. But now, for the last 40 or 50 years, it's been embraced. Mm-hmm. But then it was, we don't want to be called hillbillies.
Yeah.
But whatever the big radio station is in Nashville.
WSM.
They were apparently, it was either them or another station was carrying the opera broadcast out of New York City. So when either one of the other stations was doing that and SM countered with what they were doing at Ryman, well, that stole the show. Mm-hmm. And Nashville has ever since been known as Country City, USA.
You ever been to the Grand Ole Opry?
I have not, no. Been through Nashville, but not there.
I have not gone voluntarily. I got to go with Mom and Dad.
You bound and gagged
when I was a kid. Mom and Dad and Uncle Joe and Aunt Ethel and all of them wanted to go to the Grand Ole Opry because when the Ramey family would get together with everybody else and all the Wilsons would come to our place, we had campers all over the place. Well, we would camp out on Saturday nights and they would turn on the Grand Ole Opry on the radio around the campfire. And so one day they said, let's all go down. So they got their campers, and we went down to Nashville. I think I was 6th or 7th grade at the time. And I was thoroughly entertained. I wasn't sure what it was going to say. I got to go listen to this stuff. It was very entertaining. Jim Stafford.
Spiders and Snakes.
Yes. He was there on stage that night, performed that song. And so that was pretty cool. But really neat experience. Mm-hmm. But I want to tell you.
Now, was that at Ryman or the new one?
That was at the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. I met Roy Acuff. That may not mean much to some folks, but Roy was still alive at the time, and Dad had nothing for him to autograph, but he was out in the lobby before the show. And so he grabbed a dollar bill and he signed a dollar bill for Dad.
How about that?
I remember him patting me on the head, "Hey, young boy," blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. So,
of course, our friend Jerry Salley has performed many times, but didn't Roger Gray also perform there?
I can't remember.
I thought he told us that he had.
Roger Graves?
Graves, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember. He
don't
used to
know
always
that
be
he's-
at the Paint Valley Jamboree.
I don't know that he sang, but I thought he played an instrument as a backup or something.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And
Holly
Will
Miller.
Parr, did Will get to announce something there one time? Or?
I haven't heard that story.
Yeah, I think Will was telling me that one time.
Holly Miller, who became Holland, she has performed there as well during a Christmas event. Just a bunch of people have been on that stage that just blow you away. That hey, we know these people, you know. But in the same respect, I think back to, why Hank Williams Jr. or Sr. wasn't a member of the Grand Ole Opry because of his drinking.
Oh, that doesn't shock me.
They said, nope, we don't need this. Kicked him out, I guess.
Of course, today.
So, yeah, right.
Now, it's my understanding Ryman is still where it always was, and it's kind of like a museum, and they do some shows there. It's kind of like Ford's Theater.
Right.
It's not an active theater all the time, but they do some concerts there. But it seemed to me that they took a center piece, a circle of the Ryman stage and took it to the new location.
Yeah. Ricky Skaggs is going to be here before too long, coming up June 22nd. That's going to be out at Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater. He has been at the Grand Ole Opry. By the way, we are as Tecumseh opens up tomorrow, we are the official media partner for Tecumseh, and we'll be there to help sponsor that show on the 22nd. So keep that in mind as well. I want to take a moment to bring that image back, if you could there, please. Mr. Hand 2. Whose feet are those?
Those are the feet of my friend Lim.
Lim?
Yeah, Limwell.
Limwell.
But we call them Lim.
Is his sister Liv?
I don't know.
So she could live
I never met his sister.
But you took the picture.
I took the picture.
So we can credit you.
Yes.
We don't want anybody else saying we stole the picture.
And this is a cropped image because there were other feet around this
My
star
feet were in
as
it.
well.
This is right outside of a pizza shop. And we stopped in there to get some pizza.
Gotcha.
I've never been on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I took pictures of 2 stars, Hank Williams and Mel Blanc.
Very good.
But Mel was at the Hollywood, right? He wasn't at the Grand Ole Opry too, was he?
No, this was at the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Hank Williams?
Yeah.
I thought that was a. See, you misled me and all of our viewers.
No.
To think that was at Nashville.
I think everybody looking at this can tell what it is.
Well, I know they have the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, but I thought this was down at Ryman. Oh, you misled me. I'm disappointed.
I didn't mislead you
I'm
in
crushed.
any way.
I will have to take a moment and take up for the boy.
Well, I don't care what you thought. This is what I thought.
He did not mislead you.
He misled me.
You made your own deduction.
No.
You know what they say about making an assumption.
Viewers write in. My English teacher always told us that.
Yeah. I think even Laura Smith would right now say, I'm pretty sure he didn't lead him on the wrong way.
I don't think so. She'd side with her husband.
But back to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. How long is it? Because
it's real long.
It's got a bunch of stars.
Yes, lots. I didn't see all of them.
Doesn't it go through some neighborhoods that you wouldn't normally go through?
It wasn't just on the one road. It kind of went on perpendicular roads and everything.
Yeah,
but it's
Wasn't
quite a
what you thought it
trek
would be,
if you
or
wanted
was
to
it-
walk the whole thing.
Was it what you thought it would be?
I mean, yeah. I just knew it was going to be stars at the ground.
Did you also go to the Chinese theater for the handprints?
I
and
did.
footprints?
I did go to the Chinese theater for the handprints.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks has, I can't remember if he had really big hands or really little hands because I took a picture. Let me try to find it.
The boy's been to Hollywood.
He's going to let us know.
And we hope that it straightens up before you get out there in August.
Now, I've defended Aaron's honor this morning, but I must also defend Mike's honor on the other side of this because he recently was in Nashville, and you could have thought that he took that picture when he was down in Nashville.
So now you're making my
That
case
didn't
for me. inside stories here. Yeah.
Have you found it yet? Did you do a search of Hollywood?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks had really narrow feet.
Is that right?
Yes. At least he did in July of 1998.
Maybe that's from where he put his feet in there, and when he pulled them up, it kind of sucked all the cement back in.
1998. That's, wow. He was a young man at that time.
Yeah, no wonder he was able to play those big keys on the floor. That Toy Story movie.
Yeah.
That wasn't Toy Story. It was a story about him. Wasn't he an employee for a toy creator?
Well, I don't remember that one.
Wasn't the movie big? And
I remember that movie.
There was one of the toys was keys that were out there, and you could play the keys with your feet.
Yeah. Sounds like a Fred routine.
Am I not remembering the right movie?
Got me on that one.
Mr. Movie doesn't know.
Are you getting it confused with Toy Story, which Tom Hanks is also in?
No. I unfortunately uttered the words Toy Story while I was telling that. So.
I've seen Toy Story. I haven't seen Big.
Yeah. Have you seen them all?
All the Toy Stories?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Third one's the best one.
In their sequential.
That'll bring tears to your eyes, the third one.
Yeah.
Did you weep openly in the theater?
No.
You had to be consoled?
No. I think I was 11 when that came out, so I was upset when I thought they were going to die.
I was an adult when I saw it, and I still was crying, yeah.
What 11-year-old kid wants to admit that he cried?
I was upset. I did not cry.
Who's crying? I'm not crying.
There have only been...
Stop it. No, you're not crying.
3 movies that have ever made me cry.
Okay, let's hear them.
Rocky 2. I cry every time I see Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Titanic. Well, I saw it in 3D IMAX at the Chinese theater.
Okay.
And that whole experience was very overwhelming.
You were verklempt, okay.
And
is it Grauman's?
I think
Chinese
it is,
theater?
Yeah.
Okay.
The third one is a Richard Linklater movie called Before Sunset. It's part of a trilogy.
Okay.
Really good.
I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm horrible at this, but it was about a dog, and not Old Yeller.
Benji?
This was
Marley and Me?
Marley and Me, yes. Yes. That one is not easy to get through.
I've cried at so many movies, I can't even list them all. Yeah.
War Horse, I think, was another one that I cried at because I felt so bad for the horse.
My sister never liked Homeward Bound because the part where the cat goes over the waterfall made her cry.
Oh, yeah.
The cat's fine.
Yeah.
And we tell her that, but she still doesn't like to watch it.
Katie.
My cousin, my cousin Ryan is almost 50, or maybe he just turned 50 recently. We saw E.T. at the Majestic Theater here in Chillicothe.
Yeah.
He cried. I remember that.
Well, here's justice. We used to make fun of my dad for crying during movies and even commercials. Well, I am my father's son now, and I have the curse of Mark Smith doing the same thing. So now I'm the blubberer. Sarah will look at me and like she's, are you crying?
Missy gets on to me, too. She'll say, what's going on over there? And I'm, nothing. What are you talking about?
I'm not crying.
I'll tell her a story and something that had touched me. And I start welling up while I'm telling it. And she's like, you're going to cry, aren't you? Yeah. Stop it.
Now, no crying in baseball, but what movie was that where or TV show that they were saying, I'm not crying, are you crying? What was that in?
I don't know. Was it?
We got to look that one up.
Everybody Loves Raymond?
It could be. I know it was either a movie or a TV show. Who's crying? I'm not crying.
Well, Who's Crying? Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't that with Jonathan?
Who's
Travolta?
Crying? I'm Not Crying popped right up. It's okay. It's a movie that I didn't even see, but I have heard about this. It's when we get past the commercial here, we'll see it here.
Push skip.
Well, it's got to come up before you can do that. Let's see here. Starsky and Hutch, the movie. What's this? That's Ben Stiller, and I don't remember that guy's name.
Yeah,
but that's
Owen
Wilson.
Owen Wilson. 2004. Yes. That's where that came from.
Yeah. And Owen Wilson was in Marley and Me.
I think you're right.
He was also in Cars, which I watched last night.
Okay. So maybe it's just Owen
I just
Wilson
felt like
movies.
putting on Cars.
Yeah, he was what? Speed McQueen?
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen.
I got Steve McQueen and Speed
How about
McQueen.
that?
All my brain.
Oh, well. We really went off on a tangent on that. But this is what the old radio show used to be.
It is, and that's what most people remember.
That's what they tell us. I remember when you guys were talking. Never mind.
I remember sitting in Doc Hanner's dentist chair and him saying, "Boy, you guys, what was that you said earlier this morning?" And I'm like, I don't know. And I got all this stuff in my mouth and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it was really funny.
Let's bring it back around. Do you guys have a favorite Hank Williams song?
I Saw the Light's a good one. Not to be confused with the Todd Rundgren, I Saw the Light.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite senior. I would say All My Rowdy Friends on the other side.
Junior
side.
Yeah.
Well, which All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight or All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down?
That one.
I like both of them.
Settled down, yeah. If you listen to the words of All My Rowdy, Now That I've Settled Down, that's a deep song. I mean, I think he's talking about his life in that movie, in that particular song. Yeah. So, yeah.
And are you ready for some football? I mean, we can't forget about that one.
Yeah, really.
All right. Let's wrap things up because we got a guest coming in here shortly.
You do.
Coming our way about noon today, we'll talk about the Kenworth Truck Parade, which is coming up this Saturday. And we'll visit with Jack Schmidt from Kenworth in just a bit. For Mike Smith and for Mr. Hand, too, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.